Santa Cruz County Public Media family and friends, welcome to another segment of Meet Your Local Candidates. We're getting close. You are getting your ballots at home if you choose to vote early. You're getting a lot of information on where to go to vote, deadlines, how to vote early in person. So please just check it out. Read or just watch us. We are live through Facebook. We are live in YouTube right now. And then lately, we'll go by on Spotify, Roku TV, Amazon Fire, TikTok, Instagram. So all this information, you're going to have it all over around our media. So please go and vote. Santa Cruz County has to go and vote for these elections because we are having great movement, great opportunities, and we need to listen to our candidates. So with that being said, I'm here with Travis Arnold, running for sheriff for Santa Cruz County. Thank you for coming here with us again for the second time, because it's been a while. Mm-hmm. And so thank you for sitting on our studio in Willow Nogales in Morley Avenue. It's very exciting. We've seen you all around. I've seen big signs, big banners, sometimes semi trucks. That's pretty cool with your signs. I've seen you around in many forums. Lately was the Tubac Forum, which we were very thankful for the invitation. They invite us to live stream, so we were very thankful for that, because I believe every opportunity that we can have to share about our candidates get us closer to get to know all of you. So thank you and welcome. Thank you for being here.
Thank you very much for the invitation.
Of course. And as the second time second time was about 5-6 months we were talking?
Yeah, about.
Yeah, so it's been a little bit of a long time. So I would love, for our audience, we have audience, they are watching. They share with us yesterday. They shared with me, I've been watching all the candidates. So when I get my ballot, so thank you for sharing. It's like I'm gonna vote and go back and forth with the videos that you're providing. I was very excited about that. So if you can just tell us a little bit about yourself, how's it going? And then we'll just start talking about the forum, the places that you've been and how you're preparing. Also ideas that you are bringing for sheriff for Santa Cruz County, Travis Arnold. So welcome.
Thank you. So my name's Travis Arnold. I was born and raised in northern Wisconsin. I grew up there, and about 17 years old, I enlisted in the United States Army. That was 2 months before September 11th, and my football coach had came up to me to talk to me and said, "Hey Travis, I've got a great way for you to pay for college, college for free. You can join the military, and then they'll pay for college." And I thought that was a fantastic idea. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, 2 months later, September 11th happened, and fast forward a little bit, 2004, 2005, I deployed to Iraq. I was in Baghdad, and upon coming back home, I got a call shortly thereafter saying, "Hey, would you be interested on going another deployment, this time to Arizona? You'll be working alongside Border Patrol in a small border town called Nogales." And I thought, sure, that sounds great. It was winter in Wisconsin at that time, and just having came back from Iraq, I wanted to get out of that winter as soon as possible. So we came down to Arizona, and we started doing some training and pre-mobilization, and we came down to Nogales, and we arrived here, and they put us up at the Americana Hotel. Okay. So a bunch of National Guard soldiers were at the Americana Hotel, and yes. That first night we were given a briefing, and we were told, "Hey, there is cartel in the area. They know the National Guard is coming down here. They're upset about it, and they have orders to kidnap National Guard soldiers. So if you leave your hotel room, don't leave at night. And then if you're going out into the public during the day, you have to be in civilian clothes." Mm-hmm. I'm like, wow, okay. So Went to sleep that night, barricaded my door, woke up the next morning, changed into civilian clothes, walked outside, and I'm like, okay, this is a nice little quiet, sleepy border town. Looked around and I saw a really cool hole-in-the-wall restaurant right across the street.
Right.
Walked across, and that day I learned two very, very important things. Number one, I love chilaquiles.
Right.
And number two, Taco Bell is not real Mexican food.
Exactly. Thank you.
And I fell in love. After the mission was over, I was hired with the Santa Cruz County Sheriff's Office. That was 2007. I had met my wife at that time, and we've now been married for 15 years. We have two boys that were born and raised here, and spent a nice career at the Sheriff's Office, working everything from a patrol deputy to a long time teaching kids in the DARE program, and then ultimately promoting to sergeant.
Wow, congratulations, and thank you for your service also.
Thank you.
So what a great story. So you stay in our county, and now I'm sure with all your background and what you've been working around with your family, now you decided to run for sheriff for Santa Cruz County, Travis Arnold. And what made you, like, right now during this time to run for sheriff? I know I've learned a little bit about it in many of the forums, but please, I hope you can share with our audience what is the reason that make you, go out and run?
When I left the Sheriff's Office in 2018, I went to go work for a law firm, and having left public safety and gone to work in the private sector, it was eye-opening to me to see how big of a difference it was in those two types of employment. It felt really nice to be cared for and have your employers want to see you succeed, because if you succeed, then the company succeeds. And it never quite felt that way when I was at the Sheriff's Office. So having left public safety and had started my own business and grown a business, and all these combined experiences from when I was in the military to my time at the Sheriff's Office and now in the private sector, made me realize that I've got a very unique skill set that I could bring to the position of sheriff. And I thought that would be a great thing to do, is run as an independent, stay away from the politics, because we see way too much of the federal politics bleeding into our community. And the left and the right, everybody's always saying, we do this or we don't do this, or this is safe or this is a war zone, and they just use it for their soapboxing. And I thought, why can't we have a leader in our community that stays away from that, but instead we work on growing and developing and improving the Sheriff's Office instead.
Right, awesome. Thank you for sharing your point of view, and also please, Travis Arnold, running for sheriff for Santa Cruz County, share with our audience about some of your vision or your goals about if you become an elected sheriff and you will represent us as the sheriff of Santa Cruz County. What can we expect or have the support from the sheriff's office as a community?
Santa Cruz County has suffered a lot recently, especially in the terms of transparency and accountability. That's one of the most important things for me. It is, in business, you create accountability and transparency through goals and plans. So that's what I've done throughout my campaign so far, is analyze what's been going on at the Sheriff's Office, taking a look at what the staffing levels are, what the crime rates are in the area, what are some of the problems, what are some of our strengths, and started working on some plans to not only improve some change, but be able to show that change and those plans accurately to the public, so the public knows exactly what's going on and why we're doing this. For me to go to the Board of Supervisors and say, I need 20 more deputies without any context is a very hard sell. But if I go to the Board of Supervisors and I said, you know, the Santa Cruz County has a population of about 49,000 people. Modern law enforcement theory says you should have one officer per 1,000 residents. And that would give us about 49 sworn deputies that we should have at the sheriff's office. Unfortunately, right now they have 28. So the staffing is at very low levels right now, but being able to explain why and show that information to the public is extremely important.
I see. Thank you. And then, thank you. We saw you at the forum. It was a full forum. It happened with District 3, but since you will be representing us for Santa Cruz County if you get elected as sheriff. So leaders that will place a leadership role in the Santa Cruz County were also invited. And also, you know, our current sheriff. So the invitation was open for everyone. And it was, I believe it was a very friendly forum. I was sharing with my audience, I think last week, that it was great to see the candidates, you know, walking together and you know, say hi to each other. I love to see that. I think that's what we love to see, even you know, like in our community. And but you got to walk by yourself, and but I think it was great, you know, that you got to answer some questions. I think all these questions were directly, you know, for you, for sharing about your views, your points about you if you get elected, for our county, and how the support will be to the whole community, to the whole county. But do you want to tell us a little bit about the forum?
Yeah, it was the Santa Cruz Valley Citizens Coalition hosted the event up in Tubac, and fantastic event, standing room only. That room was packed and had to have been well over 100 people in attendance. And it was great to not only talk to the other candidates, and you know, I've had some conversations with some of the other candidates for the other positions along the way, but to be able to interact with the community and to field questions from the community. And I think as a candidate, but hopefully ultimately as a elected official, that sort of commitment to those communities is extremely important. It shows to them that you care, that you're going to show up, and you're not going to be somebody that just gets elected, receives a paycheck, and then is nowhere to be found.
I see. And thank you for sharing. I think it's great, like you mentioned, to get to hear directly from the person. It makes our accountability, right? And for us to see, you know, the person, your public directly, and answer those questions, get to know also a little bit about your public, you know, your District 3 on that side. I know you're going around to different events on District 2 and District 1. So, and we know election is coming up very soon, maybe for the ones that we are voting early tomorrow or today. So can you share a little bit with us maybe how can we reach out to you if we have any questions? Where will you be around our community before November 5th, to see in case maybe from people from the different districts want to get in touch with you personally and talk?
Sure. Well, as an independent candidate, what's been nice is both sides. You know, we don't have a Republican candidate running for sheriff, but both the Democrat Party and the Republican Party have been extremely inviting. I think they appreciate my platform and my message that I want to run apolitically. And so, you know, any event that they've been hosting, I've been trying to show up. So even tonight, there's an event being hosted here in Nogales.
Yes.
So I'll be in attendance there. And if there's any candidate meet and greets, or I don't know of any other scheduled forums or debates. But yeah, it's getting to that last 3 weeks, really.
Yes.
And then for a lot of the voters, it's in those last days. You know, the ballots had been mailed out, and you'll be getting those in your mailboxes. You know, hopefully, if not today, within the next couple days.
I see. Thank you so much. And yes, we did. We share the invitation for our public. The event is today, and it's very close to Morley Avenue. We will share the flyer later again. But yeah, it's today. I believe it's around 5 p.m. And if you want to go meet more candidates, some of the independent candidates will be also there. Please go inform yourself. I love what you mentioned, we can all interact and get to know, others and people, and so you're running independent. Also, please teach us or expand our knowledge on how are we going for first-time voters or for people that sometimes we might not know what does it mean to run independently. How are we gonna see your name in the ballot?
Sure. So my name will appear as Travis Arnold, and then parentheses afterwards will be the abbreviation IND for independent. And yeah, I think on that point of kind of you mentioned a little bit about the left and the right. It's nice to have, I think, an independent candidate where you can vote for them as a person. And I think most voters are coming to the realization that we have to vote for the person and not the party. It's very difficult on our federal levels where you may not be able to interact with the candidate on a one-on-one basis. If you go onto my campaign page on Facebook and you send me a message, I'm going to be the one that answers it, and we can talk and communicate. And so I think with your local elections, it's very important to get to know your candidates and don't look at a political title behind their name and just cross them out or just automatically vote for them. Do some research on who they are and what they're running for, and what are their plans and goals for the future. If you just keep that party affiliation in mind, I think causes more problems than it can cause any good.
I see. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. I know, as you being, former military, and thank you again for your service. And when you mentioned, your wife was, through your time being, working and now working in the election, and having that also family and going and campaign and understanding, the job of a first responder, because you were also working as a first responder on the sheriff department. I always mention I am a very proud first responder wife. So I like to ask first responders, and mostly when we have leaders like you running for Santa Cruz County for Sheriff's Office, Travis Arnold, please share with me what will be the support or the vision that you can bring to our first responders working in our whole county.
I think back to when I was the deputy. Communication has always been problematic in Santa Cruz County. I'm throwing a joke to my wife here, but there was times where I was out in Sonoyta and she would try to call just to see how I was doing. It was graveyard shift, 2-3 o'clock in the morning, and she wanted to know how I was doing, and no cell phone reception. There's times where we had no radio reception, and the technology hasn't progressed in Santa Cruz County as much, but there are new technologies that are out there that can help keep our first responders better connected and improve their situational awareness. There's 2 different technology platforms that I'm looking at implementing right away. One of them, it's free, provided by the government. It's off-the-shelf software that can be used as a situational awareness tool. So the sheriff's office and the fire department and border patrol and highway patrol, we can all know what's going on during critical incidents, and we can share information and see each other's location and have real, firsthand knowledge of what's going on at that scene. And then secondly, to be able to improve our communications. Unfortunately, the repeater systems for the sheriff's office radios had all gone out, and the sheriff's office had scrambled to try to get grant funding to replace these repeaters, and it came out to the tune of about $4.5 million grant that they had to get from the state. But there's other ways to handle this, and a lot more affordable ways as well. We've always relied on this repeater system where your radio in your car will broadcast to a repeater on top of a mountain that annually gets struck by lightning, and then that will broadcast to other people. Well, we can build in repeater systems within our patrol cars now. Where we have backup communications via cellular, and even with us being so remote in the desert, utilizing other technology like Starlink or anything else that we can bring in. It's much more affordable than these multi-million-dollar repeater systems, but it gives us layers of backup communications. And that way, when those first responders' wife is wondering how their significant other is doing at 3 o'clock in the morning, there's no reason for them not to pick up now.
Yes, sí. Qué importante lo que mencionas, porque es verdad, muchas esposas, familias, siempre constantemente los estamos checando de si están bien, por ese support, y nosotras también para saber que ellos van a estar bien. Entonces, qué importante lo que compartes de trabajar en esa tecnología para que ellos estén seguros también. Así que, y Travis, te hablo, Travis Arnold, corriendo para Santa Cruz County Sheriff, aquí en el condado de nosotros de Santa Cruz County. Te hablo en español porque sé que entiendes muy bien español, así que muchas gracias. Quiero que por favor les dejes también saber a nuestra comunidad por qué va a ser importante votar primero, por qué sería importante votar y por qué va a ser importante votar por Travis Arnold para sheriff en el condado de Santa Cruz County.
Es muy importante para votar porque tu derecho para votar es tu voz. Si quieres un cambio en tu comunidad, esta es la única opción que tienes. Puedes correr para una oficina o puedes votar. So, si quieres algo diferente, si quieres, if you want the conditions to improve, you want to see changes, you don't want to see some of the problems and issues and corruption that we've had, voting is the way that we can make these changes happen.
Right.
I'd ask for your consideration to vote for me for sheriff for two reasons. Number one, I will be a sheriff that's there in the office every day, bright and early. I plan on being the first one in the office and the last one home. I want to be able to lead that department from the front, bringing my military leadership experience, my leadership experience from the sheriff's office, and affect positive change within the sheriff's office. I want the Santa Cruz County Sheriff's Office to be the best law enforcement agency in the state of Arizona. But they need a leader that's going to show up, that's going to be there for their deputies as well as be there for the community. And so that's why I'd ask for your consideration.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Estás compartiendo todo tu background de militar, tu background de sheriff. Compartiste con la comunidad de que toda esa experiencia la vas a poner en tu trabajo, te vas a dedicar a estar temprano en la oficina y vas a ser uno de las últimas o los últimos en irte. Y quieres que este condado de Santa Cruz tenga el mejor departamento de sheriff en todo Estados Unidos. Y qué bien se siente uno como persona en la comunidad, y también como familia de first responders, porque queremos eso mismo para nuestro condado, queremos lo mismo para nuestros first responders y para nuestro personal también de militar o veteranos que ya sirvieron. Así que muchísimas gracias por compartir eso. Como tú lo acabas de decir, qué importante es el voto de nosotros, qué importante es enseñar en Santa Cruz County que tenemos que salir a votar, ir en persona, chequearlo por correo, pero es asegurarnos que todos estemos ya votando. Ya llegó el tiempo de votar y todos tenemos que salir. Así que Travis Arnold running for sheriff for Santa Cruz County. Is there anything else? I don't want to leave anything behind that you would like to address to our public, to our county.
Sure. I mentioned earlier I have a Facebook campaign page. I actively monitor it. Feel free to reach out to me. Ask me questions. I am an open book. If you want to know what some of my plans and goals and visions are, if it's just on a personal level, you want to know who is Travis Arnold and why did this guy really want to stay in Santa Cruz County, Arizona? Even things, personal hobbies. If you're a video gamer, come talk to me about video games. Or if you're a dog lover, well, I'd love to talk to you about my two puppies that I have at home. But talk to me, and that's one thing that I promise to keep up. If I do win the election, instead of being a campaign page, it'll turn into a public official page. Right. But it'll be something that I actively monitor and use as a communication tool to the public. So please message me, ask me any questions in Inglés and or Español. I can read and write. So
awesome.
Well, look forward to talking to you.
Awesome, thank you. Thank you, Travis Arnold, running for sheriff for our Santa Cruz County. Thank you for coming for second time to our studio. We love it. We love, again, for all our candidates to come, talk to us, get to know our leaders in our community directly, and get to know, what we're working on, what you're working on, and exchange that communication to work together. At the end, we all live in the same county, and we want to make sure that it grows for the best of opportunities for us and for our children. So I really appreciate your visit. Thank you for being here. Please don't forget to vote. Go out, vote by mail, in person. But don't forget and share with all your family members about the importance of voting, the responsibility, and how awesome it's for our voice that it's gonna be counted. The decision that you make, it's gonna be heard, it's gonna be seen, it's gonna be counted. So don't forget to vote. It's very important. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for watching us. Thank you for our allies. Without your support, we wouldn't be able to continue to bring community leaders around our area and from all over the world. Sometimes when we go out and meet other leaders, they have the same visions that our studio have. So thank you. We really appreciate all our allies, all your support, all the opportunities. Don't forget to comment, to like. Don't forget to follow us, and please check out our platform in Spotify, Apple. Also, we're in Apple, Roku TV, Amazon Fire. You have no excuse to go and meet your local candidates. So we will see you very soon next week for another segment of Meet Your Local Candidates. Thank you again for watching us, y nos vemos pronto. Hasta luego.